Organized Labour has declared its intention to embark on an indefinite strike from December 27, 2022. This was made known by the Secretary General of Trades Union Congress, Dr. Yalba, during a press briefing in Accra. He explained that the strike is due to government's decision to introduce a debt exchange program. Now, according to him, the strike will be in force until the government exempts pension funds from the planned debt exchange program. Yes, Dr. Ba.
You may recall that exactly 1 week ago, we said we were asking government to exempt us from the debt exchange program. We sent the letter and we told the whole world that if government doesn't do that, we will advise ourselves. Today, we are here to tell you the advice we have given to ourselves. Yes. And that advice is very simple. We have decided, all of us together, that because government has refused until today, by midday of today, to grant us our request that all pension funds, and we are not exempting anything, all pension funds must be exempted from the domestic debt exchange program. We have decided, finally, that all workers of Ghana are going to strike on the 27th of December, and we will be on strike until our demand has been granted. And the demand is simple, that all pension funds must be exempted from the debt exchange program. And what it means is that all workers of Ghana should stay at home on the 27th of starting from 27th. Don't go to work. Stay at home. And we will stay at home until we hear publicly that government has exempted all pension funds from the domestic exchange program. That is straightforward and very simple. Between now and 27th, we have a few days to Christmas. From tomorrow, in fact, we have started today, every worker in this country must signal to government and to their employers that we are not sitting down for our pension funds for the most vulnerable people in this country to suffer because somebody has made mistakes. We are going to be in our red band, red t-shirt until we hear on the 27th. And we are not meeting here again. 27th, if we haven't heard anything, we start a strike. If we hear anything positive, we organize another press conference and tell the whole world that the strike is over. But that is when the exemption has been announced.
Former Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Charles Bawadua, joins us for a conversation on the phone. Good evening to you, Mr. Bawadua. Organised Labour has declared its intention to embark on an indefinite strike from December 27. How do you think government should handle this?
Good evening, and good evening to all your viewers. I have followed the issue seriously, and I have analyzed the utterances of both the government and organized labor. I am of the considered opinion that government necessarily needs to soften its stance and particularly engage the union leaders. Mind you, this is not just a single union which is crying foul. We are talking about organized labor in its entirety. And so it is not a subject matter of joke. And it appears to me that given the recent meetings that they have held, the decisions that they have taken, including correspondence that they have sent to government, they seem to be very serious about their threat. And government definitely needs to soften its stance and engage.
Why are you saying government must soften its stance?
Now they are threatening a massive strike, a strike never known in the country, the history of this country. Like I said, it is not a single union. Say, for example, NAC is on strike. Of course, other sectors of the economy will not be affected. Say, for example, doctors are on strike. But this is a situation where the entire organized labor, you can imagine GPRTU, who are part of organized labor, going on strike. How would people go to work? If the banks close down, how would people transact businesses? So
as well as the Ghana Medical Association,
can completely crumble the entire country. And I don't think government should allow that to happen. You will notice that it doesn't appear to me that the organized labor groups desire a strike. You know, it is for this reason that I believe that they have given some leeway, a period, a cooling period within which government between now and the 27th must take that opportunity to resolve the impasse. Because in one of their complaints particularly is that, look, in arriving at this decision to use their pension funds as a part of their debt exchange program, they were not even consulted. And you cannot do that. You are using the life earnings of people, you know, for a program, the outcome of which is not certain. The security of their pensions is in danger. And you don't expect them not to react. Government necessarily need to engage the labor unions, and they don't have much time. They must necessarily do that now.
Now, Mr. Bawadua, does it look like government can survive without touching pension funds under the debt exchange program?
Well, I think that is a decision for government to do, and they must do the necessary analysis. And if they cannot, they should properly engage the unions. That is the key thing. It's government who is in control of the resources of this country. All the necessary funds are controlled by government. They are in a position to know whether or not they can survive. But given from what has happened over the period and the decision to go and now touch pension funds, I believe that government is in critical condition. But you cannot do that without doing consultation.
But what does the law say when it comes to issues like this, like pension funds?
Yeah, you see, so pension funds are restricted. They are restricted funds, so that even a debtor who is indebted, the creditor cannot go and attach pension funds for purpose of paying a debt. So the restriction placed on pension funds is to ensure that a person who goes on pension receives his lump sum and then secondly gets his monthly pension. There should be no activity that deprives a worker of his pension upon retirement. And this particular program, the estate program, has the potential to depriving the worker of his funds. And that is where they are talking about the insecurity of their pension funds being at stake.
Will you be surprised if this ends up in court?
But from what is happening, it doesn't appear that organized labor is contemplating court now. They are using their strength of strike. You know, unions are not just people who are organized to talk about negotiation for their members and all that. They are also civil society groups. They put pressure on government. They analyze government policy and ensure that government is put on the right path. So I don't see the court option now, but you know, I believe even the issues of strike are more likely to impact on government and influence government to take a second look at the program than court. I mean, some people don't believe our courts these days, but that's unfortunate, and it's a different subject matter of a different debate.
Thank you very much indeed, President of the former Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Charles Bawadua. Thank you very much indeed for your time.